Hey everybody, here's what we've been up to lately. There's some floor space. It's crazy. You can actually see the floor now. Gotta go through this little pile here, get through that. That's gonna have to go to a shelf. Cleaning on this, knocking some of the ugly off this. There's a lot of grease that was, old motor mount for Continental 220. Got some body work to do on the sheet metal here. It got beat up over the years. Trying to straighten out some of that and go on from there. Got a little room over there because the frame, which I mentioned before, is up there. So I'll get this straightened out and bring the rotisserie. This thing should be ready for cover. All the sheet metal's on it. Get another guy to put a set eyes on it and see if he sees anything wrong with it. The landing gear was right there, laying on his back. So I finally broke down, got tired of looking at it. It's been rebuilt for, will it be a year? I don't know. It's been rebuilt for a while. And of course, when you rebuild it was done dry. So put the hydraulic fluid in it, got a couple quarts in each leg. Spanner wrench is still on it. Had to tighten the gland nut up on it. This one was leaking a little bit, no big deal. Just tighten it up. The other one side was fine. So as I said, got a couple quarts of the mil spec transmission fluid basically in it, hydraulic fluid. So that should be, it's not topped off, but it's standing up and it's mobile. So, and it's also out of the way. Made this little fixture here with some metal just had laying around. So get it stood up where it won't tip over, put some feet on it. I didn't have the feet on it and it kept wanting to move up here. It can't move far, but it could move enough to, the weight would just let it tip over. So no big deal there. Got this out of the way, up and over. Get ready to start flying. This little devil is ready to go. The other thing is, got this as a Christmas gift or birthday gift, I don't know, several years ago. So just piled my tools in it when we came here and it was great. But I didn't have a workbench. So these automotive body shop stands have actually turned into, for doors and panels and setting stuff on it while you work on it. It's actually turned into my table with some scrap lumber. So I went and got this roll around and all my tools, hand tools were already arranged in this, but you need the workbench and your hand tools available to you as you just pull this up to as your workstation, wherever you're working at. So I need to transfer these two back over, put airplane parts in here, put hand tools in there. And it should be good to go there. Then organize this mess right here. Actually was trying to come up with a, you can see there's a lot going on. It's just project after project. Most of it is that. So if we ever get all this stuff put together and figure out what's extra and then get it listed and for sale, that'd be great. So, and then put those funds back toward these funds that are depleting. Anyway, today's task is to clean this up, knock some of the ugly off of it, like I mentioned before, and then we'll see what happens. If we get around to it, need to change the oil in this devil. Get it ready to start flying again and clean this up, get this listed on eBay. Some washing equipment or some washing units for hospital equipment. Get that on eBay, see if anybody's interested in buying any of the biomeds guys. And just trying to organize, got some more space to work with, which hopefully I won't pile up full of junk. No, I can't. I actually was thinking maybe work 5 days and, trying to come up with a schedule, take it easy or just cruise around on a day and contemplate what I'm gonna do next. And the other day, work on the shop and try to keep it clean. instead of getting piled up and having to crawl all over stuff. So that's the plan. So see ya. Okay, so far today, I think I battled this thing. I'm gonna call it to a draw. Knocked a couple pounds of grease off of it. Maybe not that much. I'm exaggerating a little. Broke down, cut open a garbage bag so I wouldn't ruin my floor totally. There's my weapons. Was gas, petroleum, and the stainless steel wire brush, the oven cleaner, and the royal purple grease cutter, acetone, transmission fluid, 50-50. Got this hardware soaking. Beat the cotter pins out of it, except for one, which is down in there. Where's the light at? Can't get to it. Yeah, it's the bottom one. So see it kind of, sort of, almost sticking out down there. I thought, I'll just take the top one out, then I can access the bottom one. Get all that done, take the exhaust ring out, and try to beat it back into submission with a hammer and dolly, like stuff like that in here, get it cleaned up. Next stop is to get this 3/8 A&M number 3 bolt out. Got the torch out now, so we'll do with that. And then get the OSFO out, which I learned off Rat Rod Bob. Check his channel out to get the rust, or to kill the rust. We'll see how that works with Scotch-Brite. So we're gonna get back to you. See you. Dude, I thought I was on time lapse, my bad. Got the exhaust ring off of it, so here's the hardware. 80 years old. The cotter keys that were in the castellated nuts and the drill bolts, so yeah, come apart pretty good. So now onto these. So this piece is 3 sections. Get this apart so I can get it cleaned up a little better, take a hammer and dolly to it, maybe replace these Zeus Fastener springs, but just get it cleaned up, make it look presentable. So I'm gonna either use it as a coffee table or I can sell it. Either way. Just got tired, bored of working on my toy there. Although I gotta get to getting, because I got an inspector coming, hopefully, to take a look at it. And so I wanna make sure, get all my panels off, get all the fasteners tightened, and then I gotta send off those seat bracket, rail brackets to get welded and get that seat back in it. So that's where we're at. See ya. Okay, got those smoked apart. Sometimes it's off with their heads in the hardware. Here's what I was dealing with. The mounting bolts, these still look to be pretty good, but the ones around the exhaust ring, the hardware for that, not so much. So we'll see how much of it's salvageable. Run them through my Eastwood tumbler over there and get them cleaned up. Let me clean up some of this mess and clean up some of these rings and charge the phone, and maybe get a chance to put on time lapse and do some body work and beat these into submission where they look like something. Also, I wanted to get some phosphoric acid on this, get it soaking, and see if I could get some of the rust off of it and knock the ugly off. Oh, see ya. So I was just checking last weekend's drawing Mega Millions and was reminded once again why we don't gamble, boys and girls. Turned my $10, actually it's my wife's $10, into two solid performer of $2. Was lucky to hit a quick pick number. Got 5 plays, hit one other number, I don't know what it was, but somebody made off with $421 million though in California, so paid off for them, not so much for me. So getting back at it here, just had a little lunch break and show you what we got going on. So get started on one of these pieces. May start with that big one or that little one right here. Keep me going, I don't know. Get it washed up and start beating on it with a hammer and dolly. Before I do that though, I want the phosphoric acid. Oh, I thought it was in the sink where it lives. Oh, there it is. On the Continental, it's not a Continental, it is a 220 horsepower mount, but it's Continental 670 radial engine. Use this product right here, and we will put it on there. As you can see, it's got some rust issues on it. So we'll do a joint product review here, and some of it's rusted up pretty good, but we'll do, like I said, joint product review, and we'll see how this works out. I'm expecting some decent results. We've had some before. And then while that's on there, then I'll get back to this other tins exhaust shroud over here. So see you in a bit. Okay, here we go. There was some of the rust treatment there. That looks great. And scan over here. It didn't take off as much as what I had hoped as a first application, so we'll hit it again and get back to it. There was yeah, it was pretty brutal down in there, so not sure how that's going to work out. It did take off some of it though, and some of it not so much. So let's keep after it. We'll try it again. This one looks a little better here. This was in pretty rough shape up there. It took off a bunch. Just gonna have to go over it again. That's pretty rough there. That may have to come off. May have to do a full paint job on this. I was hoping to preserve the paint, but some of the rust is too far in it. The other thing is with the hardware, so I blacked, did the hot blue treatment or on the hardware, so that's what it's gonna look like. Here's a piece of it that's cleaned up of the exhaust ring that goes on this. So I'll do a little picture when I get it all done. This one's beat back into shape and put some Zeus fasteners in it. The springs underneath it right here. Right there, so use some new hardware. Actually, those are the original springs. Just cleaned them up and sandblasted them and hot blued them. There's some more of the hot blue. But what hot blue is just take a torch, heat them up, get them, you know, pretty hot, and then drop them in oil. And that's pretty much. These got too hot. You can see one of the where it gets riveted to it. That side would get riveted to it, but when it gets too hot, then it gets brittle. It'll get hard and brittle. So I need to put another one here and these two, and another one here and these two, I did have the springs to do it, but they broke. So we're gonna have to make some more. And that's an update on this little side project. So see it in drill's warm. So the Zeus Fastener springs are all drilled out. Got that task done. Although today's goal was to make some Zeus Fastener springs out of coat hanger. And I've got the, had the, there they are. Number 8 bolts to be able, that'll go down inside that loop and loop it around and see if I can make some. I just gotta probably drill and tap a block, make it solid, stand it up, get the screw in there, and then see if I can bend some coat hanger around it and make a bracket. That's my thinking, but didn't get that done today. I did get the hardware blued up, and so there's a close-up of it. It's not rusty anymore, it's blue, so that's not rust prevention, rust retardation, and slow it down. So I don't know. It doesn't look bad though on the piece that which showed earlier in the video. So I'll take it. I think there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 8, 12 springs. So I got retained 2. So I'll have to make 10. That's a quick math. Whew, about stumped myself. I think right now though, what I'm gonna do is take out some primal urges and beat the shit out of this thing right here and see if I can make it, turn it into something. That's the plan. So right here's what I need to make, and I'm gonna make it out of this coat hanger. And the dimensions of the inside of that diameter are this number 8 screw. They're not perfect, those springs aren't, so if I just get started there. And so then I have this is a blind hole. Ooh, sorry about that. That's a block with an 832 blind hole, that dimensions. I was thinking if I get a screw in the head and then lock it down underneath it, then I might be able to spin it around and make something. So not sure exactly what's going to happen here, but I'll get back to you. Okay, trying to figure out where we left off. Last weekend was with the girls down in the city. Got 2 granddaughters who went to visit. Grandma and I did, and had a blast with them. So didn't post a video. I was going to and did make a spring, but my neighbor told me that may not be good. So because that's made out of spring steel. And coat hangers, you know, although I could make it, it was about 2-3 thousandths bigger in diameter, and I did make one, but it didn't, you know, I was nervous about having that tension spring, and so just ordered some aircraft spruce. Giving aircraft spruce a plug there for airplane parts, and ordered some hardened rivets and just squeezed them together and show you what that looked like and then where we're at on that. And then we got into some more stuff. So be right back. So here's the springs that we ordered, part number. Mine was a size 6. The Zeus Fastener spring. There's one right there with riveted into the hole. There's one up there. There's 8 in this piece. So this piece goes, there's 2 pieces there that are done. I'm trying to weld a 3rd one up, learn how to TIG, and yeah, it's not going well, but maybe I'll get there and get it cleaned up. So this piece will go on that piece over there. I'll drop a picture in here. Probably should do that now, but I'll drop a picture in there to show you. It's cleaning up that one, but it needs to be sandblasted. It's just making too much of a dang mess, so I just quit. Those pieces sitting on it are another little project I got into. Those are drying. That's the hub for the rear wheel on the 140. That's the tail wheel, grease fitting, the spring pack, part of the spring pack, the split hub. part of the spring pack fasteners. So I'll get over here and show you what's going on with that. Got into this, ran out of argon gas, so thought, well, I'll just try this tail wheel and try and rig it. Check the rigging on the tail wheel. Wow, it looks like a dent. It's not, it's a reflection. So here's part of the spring pack that's painted and dried now. Hardware, that's on order. Those are direct replacements for that. So just trying to stay organized here. Yeah, it goes right there. And here's the other pieces. There's hardware for the hub, for the rear tire to go on. The new hardware, the old hardware. So just replacing some stuff. Replacing some, there's the axle for it, and ordered some hardware, some nuts and bolts, aircraft spruce again. Cleaned all this up, made sure it worked. What was happening is those are shims. That's a pin, brain fart there, for a blind hole, which goes in there that had oil-like bushings. So I had to drive the bushing down. Let me get closer up. Get close up to that. I had to drive that bushing down so I could drive that pin out, which would release this spring, which is for the pawl. So that spring is located in there. It's a little loose. That's what these shims here are for. And then it sticks out right there and locks in the tail wheel. And I had one side broke, so I was castering in one direction and it would lock in the other. And had to drill this pin out right here, so I made one. They wanted $13 for that freaking pin, or 12. And I was like, shoot, I'll just make one. So I got a 1/4-inch bolt, turned it down. Actually, to get that out, that's a blind hole, if you notice right there. So had to center punch it, drill it, tap it. And went to take the tap out, it stuck, so I just pulled and the pin come out. So that was good, but it was rounded down, so. Anyway, just took a 1/4-inch bolt, turned it down, and slid it in there. Actually, it had a grip on it, or a shank, if you will, and turned it down, put it in there, and then ground it down flush with that surface. So this will sit, this bearing right here will sit, oops, sorry, this bearing here will sit on it, and it will be flush. Let me hold that one. Trying to do this one-handed. So roll it around like so, and then the bearing extends above that surface to give it something to ride on. So that's how all that happens. Which are the steering arms here, and I mentioned the pawl. Right there's the pawl. So actually, I think that one goes there. This one goes right here. That's why that wasn't fitting on there just right. There we go. So yeah. So good to go there. And then the pawl goes in, locks in it, and it should be good to go. Actually, the pawl goes into the steering arm over here. Goes into there. Anyway, it's a Scott 3200 tail wheel, and put all that back together. So I got sidetracked off of the Zeus fasteners, and like I said, just went and got some gas earlier, so maybe I'll get back on that. Got parts drying, waiting on hardware, get all this back together, and put my baby back together, and maybe go fly. So, yeah, apologize for not posting one last week. I was trying to be consistent and get one out a week, but that's where I'm at. So that's it for this week. Oh yeah, I got a pile, and here's why I got into all them Zeus fasteners was, yeah, right there. They were just rusted and crusty, and sandblasted a couple of them. Blued a couple of them, made them hard when I did that, and they broke. So yeah, note to self, don't do that. Yeah, moving on. See ya.